After telling Antonio Conte several times that his preference is to play on the wing, Eden Hazard was left less than impressed with being stranded up top at the Etihad Stadium. Suffocated of all support, the former Premier League Player of the Year took a swipe at his coach's tactics, claiming he could have played for 3 hours and not touched the ball. Again, he had been used in the center, just as he has in 14 of his 21 Premier League starts this season. The worry for Chelsea is that this is what finally pushes Hazard out of the club. Hazard is a dribbler, one of the best in football. This season he has completed 120, the next nearest to him is Wilfried Zaha on 82, then Andros Townsend on 70, then Leroy Sane on 67. He had been averaging 6 a game for Chelsea. Yet at Manchester City, he managed only 1. The Belgian constantly had his back to goal. Whenever Chelsea forced their way forward, Hazard did not know whether to come short or go long, to head towards the ball or try to find some space. Against another team, he might have had more joy. Against City, however, he had no chance. It was, without doubt, one of his most miserable afternoons in a Chelsea shirt. 120, Eden Hazard, Chelsea 82, Wilfried Zaha, Crystal Palace 70, Andros Townsend, Crystal Palace 67, Leroy Sane, Man City 65, Mohamed Salah, Liverpool. Conte has £70.6 million. Alvaro Morata and January signing Olivier Giroud, both of whom sat on the bench for the majority of the match in Manchester, yet opted for Hazard instead. When replaced by Morata in the 90th minute, Chelsea's star player walked past Conte without any acknowledgement. It offered those who like to read into body language a field day. Hazard was one of the rats accused of downing tools in that infamous third season under José Mourinho, when a horrendous defense of the title saw them finished 10th. Now in the second season under Conte, they are 5th. Can his commitment be questioned again? Or is it all down to the way he is being used by his Chelsea coach? One statistic is that in 2016-17, Hazard averaged 65 sprints a game. In 2017-18, he is averaging 57, so some might wonder whether he wants to put in the hard yards to help Conte. 2017-18, 8.04, 6.07, 2016-17, 5.76, 4.29, 2015-16, 6.21, 3.66, 2014-15, 7.85, 4.80, 2013-14, 6.99, 4.10, 2012-13, 4.81, 2.12. The Italian was asked about Hazard on Friday and answered with a telling tale about the time he dared question Juventus coach Marcello Lippi during his playing days. Conte said he was dropped, fined and killed by Lippi for criticizing the way he was being used in what he felt was not his best position. "I was selfish," Chelsea's boss said. The club clarified this was not a message to Hazard, but you have to wonder what the 27-year-old will make of Conte's comments. After City last week, we know what he thinks of the tactics. Real Madrid, the frontrunners to sign Hazard this summer, will not put him in such a position. They would be sure to give their Galactico free rein, so long as he signs on the dotted line. He has that to a degree at Chelsea. Rarely does Hazard get tasked with tracking back or dogged down by defensive duties. Yet the false nine role is, frankly, not for him. It is to the Belgian's credit that, despite being asked to play in a position he does not like, he is still top of the table for dribbles completed in the Premier League. Hazard is one of the world's best with the ball at his feet on the wing or when given the chance to turn and carry it. What is happening now is only hurting his confidence and antagonizing him. Conte is expected to leave Chelsea this summer, with talk of him either taking a year off or taking over Paris Saint-Germain, yet this could still drive Hazard to the door. This is Hazard's 6th season at Chelsea and he has been a fine servant. Maybe he has earned the right to expect the left wing should be his territory. Versus Leicester, 1, sub versus Arsenal, 2, sub versus Stoke, 3, sub versus Man City, 1, center versus Crystal Palace, 4, left versus Watford, 7, left versus Bournemouth, 2, left versus Man United, 4, left versus West Brom, 7, center versus Liverpool, 10, center versus Swansea, 1, sub versus Newcastle, 10, center versus West Ham, 5, center versus Huddersfield, 3, center versus Southampton, 7, center versus Everton, 5, center versus Brighton, 4, center versus Arsenal, 6, center versus Leicester, 6, center versus Brighton, 9, left versus Bournemouth, 9, center versus Watford, 4, center versus West Brom, 5, left versus Man United, 4, left versus Man City, 1, center stats courtesy of Opta.